I stood up, and the car just kept on coming.
Heart-stopping moments.
And he hit two girls, and it looks like he kind of ran them over.
An SUV jumps the sidewalk near Portland State.
Danger happening too in a place that's supposed to be a safe spot is just really upsetting.
Sending 3 women to the hospital.
It could be any of us, anybody. Like, it's so sad this happened.
And sparking an all-out search.
A Mazda Tribute in Oregon Plate 491, John Mary Tom, blue in color.
Tonight, police have a lot of questions.
Can PSU confirm what's in the call if the vehicle intentionally drove up on the sidewalk to hit these folks?
After finding the car and putting one man in handcuffs.
First, live, local. The 5 o'clock news starts now on Fox 12 Oregon.
Good evening. Welcome to the 5 o'clock news. I'm Elizabeth Dinn.
And I'm Pete Ferriam. And tonight, 2 scenes after a serious hit-and-run crash. The first near Portland State University. That's where police say the car hit at least 3 women before taking off. About 2.5 hours later, police found that car in northeast Portland and took one man into custody.
Air 12 is live over the area where the car went over the curb near campus. Right now, you can see there is still crime tape up, blocking off this area. And we're still waiting to find out more about those women who were taken to the hospital.
And we do have team coverage tonight. Let's get right to Fox 12's John Hendricks, who is live where police say that SUV ran into those women. John?
You know, Pete and Liz, still a very active scene out here along 6th Avenue. Want to give you a look at what we've been watching for the past 7 hours after that crash earlier this morning. 6th Avenue still closed for several blocks. MAX trains are stopped and being diverted by bus. This is still a very active scene out here from a crash that sent 3 women to the hospital. Tonight, it is evidence markers that line the sidewalk of 6th Avenue in downtown Portland.
I just stood there for a second to figure out what was going on.
Hours before.
I don't know if there's any fatalities yet. Hit and run at Southwest 6th and Hall.
A scene only described as horrific played out here.
And there was one person unconscious on the ground and then another person yelling out.
Portland police saying a car jumped the sidewalk just after 10 Friday morning and plowed into 3 women before taking off. Christopher Bond saw it happen.
As I turned around to look, I heard people screaming, and I saw the 2 girls here literally get hit.
He says he was sitting outside of Starbucks when that SUV came barreling towards him.
I took 2 steps back and was up against the wall. If he probably would have been 6 inches over, he probably would have hit my chair.
In the aftermath, many people rushed in to try and help. Matt Ritzy shot this video of those efforts. The 3 women were rushed to the hospital. 1 is in critical condition, 1 in serious. The 3rd woman's condition is not being released per her family's request. As the hours tick by and those hurt begin to recover, police continue to piece all this together, trying to find out why this happened in the first place. Bring it back out here live tonight. As you can see down the road, down 6th Avenue, a lot of those crime scene markers still out as this is an active investigation. Portland police are asking folks who may have been in the area, who have shot cell phone video or witnessed this crash, or businesses that have surveillance video, to please contact them. Reporting live tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
John, thanks. Now to a map of where the crash happened to give you a better idea. Also where the SUV was later found. It took more than 2 hours for police to track it down, which they did after getting a tip. And once officers did, they took a man into custody. Air 12 was up over the scene when police got him out of the car. We also have video of him being taken into that patrol car from the ground. Fox 12 was at the Central Precinct as that car pulled up, and we took this picture of him arriving.
Yeah, Brenna Kelly has been following the story, covering the scene where that car was found in northeast Portland. Brenna?
Yeah, police tell us someone who they believe lives in this area spotted the blue Mazda Tribute. It's still behind me there. You can see the damage to the front end, windows open as investigators have been poring over it. That person, that community member, called 911 after realizing it may be the car linked to the hit and run at PSU. I spoke to a couple witnesses here. They were here when police surrounded the car and took the older man into custody. They tell me there was no struggle. It was nearly 3 hours after an SUV hit at least 3 people on the Portland State University campus.
Just goes to show, man, it can happen really anywhere.
A tip came to police from a community member they believe lives here in the Kearns neighborhood. That person thought something was off about this blue Mazda with a damaged hood. Their suspicions were confirmed, police say, after they saw reports on the news. Officers flooded the area and Air 12 was over the scene as police found not only the vehicle they were after parked on the side of this residential road, but also the driver, who they believe may have been responsible for the hit and run.
The guy from PSU.
In the video, you could see like everybody's really calm. They told him to take off his shoes. You know, it's very calm for a guy that did something like that bad.
Bartley Tuthill lives nearby and took this video. Officers say the driver peacefully surrendered after they found him sitting in the SUV. From Air 12, you can see police take him into custody.
No struggle. No struggle whatsoever. I don't think that he felt like there was anything he could do at that point. You know, he was following orders.
Police say that man is being questioned by officers. Fox 12 was there as the police car with the man in question pulled into the jail, and we were able to get this picture of him. The next step for police is finding out why this driver was motivated to hit 3 women in downtown Portland Friday morning and then take off. Well, officers are still trying to figure out why this car was here, why that man was here, because police say there was nothing to indicate he lives in the neighborhood. And we are told this block here at Northeast 16th and Gleason and a little bit farther beyond will be closed to traffic until they can get a tow truck out here and remove this blue Mazda. Reporting live in Northeast Portland tonight, Brenna Kelly, Fox 12 Oregon.
Despite the dramatic crash, classes carried on as usual at PSU.
Of course, this is a university, many students there, and many students witnessed the aftermath. We also spoke with some who were just visibly upset. Let's get to Fox 12's Nora Hart. She's live in studio with us now and also has more on those traumatic moments on campus today. Nora.
Well, it was supposed to be just a normal day at school, you guys, leading up to Memorial Day weekend, but it turned into a frightening scene. People laying injured on the ground as police urgently searched the area for a suspect. Tonight, we have a much clearer idea of what happened, but in the immediate aftermath, there was a lot of confusion and fear.
I'm just really upset. Like, I don't understand why this stuff happens all the time, and it's just really hard to see.
PSU student Kara Hudman just took an exam, but she says she couldn't focus knowing what was going on just outside.
It's so hard enough trying to get an education and like working full time, and so just to have this like kind of danger happening too in a place that's supposed to be a safe spot is just really upsetting.
Junior Kat Caputo was taking TriMet to class when she pulled up to the dramatic scene.
People are screaming like the car went up on the sidewalk, and they're screaming that they got pictures of the car and that people are hurt.
Word of what happened spread fast on campus, along with shock and concern.
I was at home in my dorm, and I got a text from my parents, my girlfriend, and the school saying there was some incident going on down here. I got a couple texts asking if everyone was okay.
In the nearby rec center, pools were cleared as lifeguards became first responders.
I'm considering taking online classes next term, which I know sounds a little bit paranoid, but I can't stand this kind of risk. I think it's really alarming.
Really such a traumatic experience for them. Counseling is now being offered to anyone in the PSU community who is impacted. They can reach out to the Center for Student Health and Counseling or the Dean of Student Life office. Live in studio, Nora Hart, Fox 12 Oregon.
Thanks, Nora. And within the last hour, we received this message from the president of Portland State University. It says in part, "I know I speak for all at Portland State when I say that our hearts are with the victims and their families as we hope for their full recovery." And we are still working to find out more about those victims. So many people thinking about them right now. We do know that a lot of people tried to help them out in this very chaotic moment. And you can see right here from these videos, that's exactly what people were doing, Pete, trying to help these women.
Yeah, it was just a dramatic and an emotional scene there. Fox 12's Sarah Hurwitz is at OHSU where they were taken. Sarah, what's the latest?
Well, good evening. Officials have told me that the 3 women are currently being treated here at OHSU. We're told that the first victim is in critical condition. The second woman is in serious condition, and the family has asked for the condition of the third victim for that to not be released. Now, take a look at this video here. This is footage from earlier today, one of those women being loaded into an ambulance as first responders rushed to treat those victims. Now, witnesses have described that response as immediate as people rushed to help the women before first responders arrived on scene. Hospital staff have also told me that all of the families have been notified. Now, Portland police have also said that there may have been a 4th victim who was injured who left the scene. We will be working throughout the evening to learn more, to stay up to date on their conditions and to potentially talk to family. Now, I did also just get off the phone with Portland State University, and they are obviously waiting to hear back from Portland police to see if any of those victims may have been students. Reporting live here at OHSU, Sarah Hurwitz, Fox 12 Oregon.
And what happened today? It's been a difficult day, we know, for so many of you. And so Multnomah County tweeted the health care center is available for those impacted by today's hit and run. You can reach trained operators by calling 503-988-4888. The toll-free number is 1-800-716-9769. And for the hearing impaired, dial 711.
Let's take one more look at Air 12 live above the scene. You can see that crime tape is still up across several blocks. Obviously, a lot of questions remain tonight. Again, one person is in custody, one man. He's been called a person of interest. We're waiting to get more information on the women who were hit in the hospital right now. As you heard from Sarah there, we're going to keep you updated right here on Fox 12 and online at KPTV.com.
The 5 o'clock news is just getting started.
Memorial Day weekend is here, as well as the dire predictions for traffic. What experts say we can really expect coming up.
And Harvey Weinstein gives himself up to police on rape charges, the case prosecutors have built against him.
Hey, Mark Nelson down here at the newly opened Rose Festival. I got Queen Michaela, the whole Rose Festival court, and Angel. How you doing?
I'm doing really good. The Portland Rose Festival is officially open. Come on down. Woo! Yeah.
You're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Memorial Day weekend is here. We know a lot of you may be heading out for the long holiday weekend. In fact, AAA says this could be the busiest Memorial Day weekend for travelers in 13 years. Nearly 42 million Americans are expected to travel 50 miles or more from home. 88% of those will drive, and experts say, well, we could see 3 times the congestion on major roads. Question is, has that begun? Well, this live look right now from the Metro building in Northeast Portland, along part of 84 here, shows you there's a bit of a slowdown, but that's not quite unusual this time of day. But we know that could, change up in the next hour or so in this coming weekend. Today, by the way, considered one of the busiest travel days of the weekend, and this afternoon's commute, it is expected, as I mentioned, to get a little busier. Let's get you another look at the traffic flow right now. Another live look, if we could, if we can get our map up there. But we do know that there's some usual hot spots. We don't have that right now, but I can tell you, just some parts of like northbound I-5 if you're heading toward Vancouver, usual hot spots right now.
A lot of people left earlier today, and the typical slowdowns you're going to see, like I-5 North, as you suggested there, Liz. Meanwhile, one thing we do know for sure, if you're hitting the road, you're going to be dealing with some of the highest gasoline prices in years. In the Portland metro area, the average for a gallon of regular gas is $3.35. Last year at this time, it was $2.76. The national average is $2.96 a gallon. At this time last year, it was $2.37. If you want to find the cheapest gas in your area, just check out the Fox 12 Pump Patrol at KPTV.com. Meanwhile, AAA does say that more than 3 million Americans will fly this weekend. Of course, it's always good to arrive 2 hours before your flight to allow time to get through security. And before you head out for the holiday weekend, download the free Fox 12 weather app. You can check out the weather, but you can also check out traffic conditions and even the status of your flight.
Well, Pete, you know, it is that time of year again. City Fair is kicking off at Portland's Waterfront Park today. Look how colorful it looks. This is Air 12 video from just this morning. You can see a lot of people had already set much of it up already.
Yeah, now it's probably getting busier and busier now that it's about to open. Fox 12's meteorologist Mark Nelson is live at City Fair. And Mark, it looks like a nice day to enjoy the start of the Rose Festival.
Yeah, we're lucky it was neither hot and it's not raining. Now, it looks like it's going to rain outside. It's pretty gray. You look at the happy people. See, oh, she's happy. Look, she's waving. It looks like it's going to rain, but nothing's showing up on radar right now west of the Cascade. So I think we are in the clear. I'm here with two wonderful ladies from Oregon Humane Society, right?
Yes, hi.
Okay, and you've got some special guests with you here?
Yes, we do. We have the Canine Grand Marshal, Diesel, that was just announced on Thursday.
What breed is he?
He is an English Mastiff, and we're just really excited to be able to have a dog represent the parade this year.
What's special about Oregon Humane Society this year?
So Oregon Humane Society turns 150 years old this year. Very excited.
150? Okay, and who's this one?
This is Willow. She is just here as a fan of the Canine Court. So
who isn't?
Right, everybody wants to see the Canine Court and the Grand Marshal of the parade. But like Stephanie said, we're super excited to partner with the Rose Festival this year, celebrating our 150th anniversary. And what better way to do that than with the Canine Court and Grand Marshal?
And they're going to be riding in a float, right?
Yes, so the Grand Marshal will be in a car for the Grand Floral Parade.
Okay.
Yes.
They get a break during the Starlight Parade, maybe?
We'll see. We might have some dogs being represented.
Tease.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. Yeah, looks like a lot of fun down here. It just opened right at 5 p.m. Had a little bit of fanfare, a bunch of clowns, and now people are flooding in, as you can see. So this is the beginning of, about 3 weeks of action here. Of course, a week from tomorrow is the Starlight Parade. Then about a week and a half from now, we've got the Junior Parade over in the Hollywood District, and then the Grand Floral Parade, which will be 2 weeks from tomorrow. So a lot of fun coming up. Of course, we always try to keep the rain away, so we'll try to do that. Now, tonight it starts with fireworks. It'll be right down here on the waterfront, 9:50 p.m., and there you go. You can see on the graphic, it should be in the low 60s coming up for tomorrow, or for tonight at 9:50, and it gets dark just around 9:45 to 10 p.m. No issues weather-wise tonight. Looks great. Now, as for the holiday weekend, things look just fine. Tomorrow we've got a lot of gray coming up, but then I think tomorrow and Sunday will be totally different. Tomorrow's a gray, cool day, maybe spots of drizzle, but the rest of the weekend looks fantastic. In fact, at this time tomorrow evening, I think there'll be a few breaks in the cloud cover. The rest of the 7-day, you see it there, and you can see we've got sunny skies coming up for Sunday. Sunday's going to be totally different than tomorrow. Temperatures jump about 10 degrees. And then on Monday, same thing. Looks like wonderful weather these 2 days. So, of course, it's the beginning of the Rose Festival. It's also Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people headed out of town. Maybe you're headed to one of our local areas for remembrances. So weather looks good all around. So we're in good shape. Oh, Diesel, what a good boy. How heavy is Diesel? How heavy is Diesel?
He's 185 pounds.
Whoa, we're about the same, buddy. Okay, oh, wait, maybe a few less on my part, but that's a big boy. All right, we'll be back with more coming up in just a few minutes.
Oh, boy, yeah. Maybe the comparison's in there. Mark, thanks so much.
Yeah.
We get to meet
Thanks, Mark.
royalty. I like it.
All right, coming up here on the 5 o'clock news, Harvey Weinstein gives himself up to police. What his defense attorneys are saying now that he's been booked on felony charges.
Trying to make sense of the tragic death of a Pac-12 quarterback, the mission his parents are now on, following the news that stunned the community at Washington State.
And a rare encounter, and sadly in a busy part of Gresham, why authorities say they had no choice in their response.
You're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
Police in Indiana say a middle school student asked to be excused from class and then returned with 2 handguns and opened fire. Investigators say 2 people were hurt, but hospital officials say they treated 3. At least 2 of the victims are a teacher and student, and there's no word on their condition. A 7th grader at the school in Noblesville, that's a suburb of Indianapolis, says he saw his science teacher swat the gun out of the student's hands and tackle him to the ground. Police have the suspect, a boy, in custody. A student who was there when the shooting began says he and his classmates hid behind a desk.
Super scary. It was, we just hid. We
were quiet, muffled crying. I held my hands with one of my friends saying, it's going to be all right, we're going to be okay. It's very tough just hearing what I heard in the room, people texting each other like, I love you, man, we'll be okay.
Witnesses say police and the FBI have sealed off a nearby suburban neighborhood where they are continuing their investigation. And the school shooting comes just a week after a deadly attack at a high school in Santa Fe, Texas. 8 students and 2 teachers died when a 17-year-old student there opened fire inside an art class. That student now faces capital murder charges.
As part of our Better Together initiative, Fox 12 is taking a look at positive ways young people and communities can focus on mental health and deal with times of crisis. 4 months after he took his own life, the parents of a Washington State University quarterback are on a mission to remove the stigma associated with mental illness. Tyler Helinski's parents started the foundation Helinski's Hope to help others learn about mental illness in student athletes. Yesterday, his mom and brother were in Washington to meet Cougar fans and people who have supported them during this hard time.
He was fierce and loyal, and he loved football.
Always just had a way of making people happy, whether it was on the field or at home or just being around others. He had a way of brightening up the room.
And Tyler's family will hike Mount Rainier tomorrow on what would have been Tyler's 22nd birthday. Helinski died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in January. Fox 12's goal with Better Together is to provide parents, teens, and the community with the tools they need to face problems head-on. To access resources, including tips about how to talk with your children about difficult issues, go to kptv.com/bettertogether.
Coming up on the 5 o'clock news, continuing coverage of our developing news, what we've learned about a driver apprehended by police after a hit-and-run crash at Portland State University.
A local restaurant worker injured during a robbery, and investigators need your help finding the suspect. What we know about the frightening ordeal.
And before we go to break, another look from City Fair. It just opened moments ago. This is a live image for you right here. And nearby is also Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson. We're going to check in with him right after the break.
You're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
I'm just really upset. Like, I don't understand why this stuff happens all the time, and it's just really hard to see.
I stood up, and the car just kept on coming.
People are screaming like the car went up on the sidewalk, and they're screaming that they got pictures of the car and that people are hurt.
Tonight, 3 women are in the hospital after a serious hit-and-run crash near the Portland State University campus. It happened at about 10 o'clock this morning, and Portland police were searching for the involved car for several hours.
And officials say they found it in northeast Portland. In fact, Air 12 was above as they took a person of interest into custody. Police are questioning that man that they took into custody, and we're still waiting to learn who he is and if he is, in fact, a suspect.
We do have team coverage of the hit-and-run crash tonight. Fox 12's John Hendricks is live near PSU with the latest on the investigation there. John?
You know, Pete and Liz, 6th Avenue still closed some 7.5 hours after that crash initially happened earlier today. Now, police are out here continuing that investigation. We've watched as they've been taking pictures and doing 360-degree scans of this area, trying to piece this all together to see and try and figure out what happened. Now, we want to get to some viewer video that was sent to us in the moments after that crash. Portland police say around 10 this morning, an SUV jumped the curb and hit 3 women. All 3 were taken to the hospital, and at the time with pretty serious injuries. Tonight, we have learned that one of the women is in critical condition, another in serious condition. The 3rd woman's condition is not being released per her family's request. We did speak with one witness today who says that he was nearly hit by that SUV. He told us the SUV was speeding through here when it hit those women.
As I turned around to look, I heard people screaming, and I saw the 2 girls here literally get hit. I took 2 steps back and was up against the wall. If you probably would have been 6 inches over, you probably would have hit my chair.
Bring it back out here live tonight where that investigation is continuing. We haven't gotten an update yet on when 6th Avenue will be back open, but police are asking anybody who was here this morning around 10 o'clock who may have surveillance video or shot some video on their phone or witnessed this crash that have not talked to police to give them a call. Reporting live tonight, John Hendricks, Fox 12 Oregon.
John, thanks. And we're getting in new pictures from an eyewitness, and these photos just into our newsroom from John Strong. Now, you heard that eyewitness tell John Hendricks how just any closer and it would have hit him right there at that Starbucks where he was sitting outside. This gives you another perspective. You can see the SUV there on the sidewalk, very close to Portland State University. And police, we know, later found that SUV in northeast Portland. And here's a map of where the crash took place and where the SUV was later found. So a bit of distance there, two parts of the city. Now, it did take more than 2 hours for police to finally track it down, which they did, though, after getting a tip.
Yeah, once police did, they took a man into custody. Now, Fox 12's Brenna Kelly has been covering the scene where that car was found in northeast Portland. And Brenna, what can you tell us?
Well, guys, we're giving you a different perspective here. Police have taken down some of the crime tape, and we've been able to move closer to the scene, closer to this blue Mazda SUV that was tipped off to them by a community member they say lives here in the Kearns neighborhood. That person spotted this car and then called 911 after realizing it may be the car linked to the hit and run at PSU. Well, officers then flooded this area, and Air 12 was over the scene as police found not only the vehicle they were after, but also the driver, who they believe may have been responsible for the hit and run. Now, officers say the driver peacefully surrendered after they found him sitting in the SUV. From Air 12, you can see police take him into custody.
No struggle. No struggle whatsoever. I don't think that he felt like there was anything he could do at that point. You know, he was following orders.
Let's swing this way to show the roads open. Now, Fox 12, also there is the police car with the man in question pulled into Portland's Central Precinct, and we were able to get this picture of him. The next step for police, finding out why the motivation to hit 3 women in downtown Portland Friday morning and then take off. And then coming back out live here, investigators have been looking through this car all day. They're still waiting for a tow truck to come and take it out of here. But we are told now, since the tape is gone, traffic can move freely through 16th. They've taken it down from Gleason right here, and these apartment tenants, though, cannot pull into the parking lot as this is still taped off. Again, a tow truck is going to come remove this car, and then it'll be taken down. Reporting live in northeast Portland, Brenna Kelly, Fox 12 Oregon.
Well, reaction is pouring in the wake of the dangerous crash. We're now seeing new video in the fight to save the victims.
Let's get to Fox 12's Nora Hart. She's live in studio with us once again with what one man saw, Nora.
Yeah, this is pretty dramatic, you guys. We spoke with a man named Matthew Ritzy. He's a California native who says he was exploring Portland with his wife when they walked right up to the aftermath of this crash. We do want to warn you, it is graphic. You can see emergency crews loading one victim into an ambulance. We spoke with Ritzy about this ordeal. He says there were a ton of first responders there, armed with neck braces and kits. Good Samaritans were also quick to jump in and help.
I'm trained CPR first aid, so if I could help, I would have. But there was so many that were already helping. I mean, within, I would say 2 to 3 minutes of this happened.
And all this comes as we are learning more about those victims. Police tell us 3 women were brought to OHSU. As you heard earlier, one is in critical condition, another in serious, and the 3rd woman's condition is not being released per her family's request. So far, none of the women's names have been released. We'll, of course, keep you posted throughout the night and in between newscasts at KPTV.com. In studio, Nora Hart, Fox 12 Oregon.
Mayor Ted Wheeler tweeted that his thoughts are with those injured. He thanked the first responders and investigators. In his tweet, he also indicated that he spoke with Police Chief Outlaw, Fire Chief Myers, and leadership from PSU and OHSU.
Despite the scary scene, classes carried on as usual at PSU. Some students who witnessed the aftermath tried really hard to focus on their schoolwork, but they tell us their minds were on the crash.
I'm just really upset. Like, I don't understand why this stuff happens all the time, and it's just really hard to see. Like, I mean, it's so hard enough trying to get an education and like working full time, and so just to have this like kind of danger happening too in a place that's supposed to be a safe spot is just really upsetting.
Yeah, no doubt this is a very difficult day and situation for so many people, not just students. And so counseling is being offered to anyone in the PSU community who is impacted. And so they can reach out to the Center for Student Health and Counseling or the Dean of Students Life Office. Multnomah County also letting everyone know through a tweet that the healthcare center is available for anybody impacted by today's hit and run. So you can reach trained operators by calling 503-988-4888. The toll-free number 1-800-716-9769. And for the hearing impaired, dial 711.
Right now, crime tape is still up across several blocks, and police still have a lot of questions. Again, one man is in custody. He's been called a person of interest. We're waiting to get more information on the women who were hit and who are in the hospital right now. We'll keep you updated right here on Fox 12 and online at KPTV.com.
One person was hurt when Fox 12's Most Wanted robbed a Woodburn restaurant. Take a look at these surveillance pictures of the suspect. Police say sometime before 9:30 yesterday morning, a man walked into Gina's restaurant on Pacific Highway, then robbed the employees there at knife point. They say one woman got into a struggle with the man and then suffered a serious cut on one of her arms and had to go to the hospital. The suspect then got away with some cash, and he's described as a white man in his 20s, about 5'9", 180 pounds, with medium-length brown hair. And once again, there is an image of him. If you know who this is, be sure to call Woodburn Police. Lawmakers in Oregon are calling on Amtrak to launch an investigation into the brutal attack of a PSU student on one of the trains there. Aaron Salazar was on his way back to Portland last week when he was found unconscious near the train tracks in Truckee, California. That's close to Reno. He was badly beaten and remains in a coma, suffering from severe brain damage. In a letter to the president of Amtrak, Oregon lawmakers say Salazar is a person of color who identifies as gay, and they want Amtrak to investigate this as a possible hate crime and are looking for a full report.
A rare scene in Gresham this morning. Police say a black bear was found in a busy part of the city, leaving them no choice but to put it down. The 5-foot bear was confronted behind these apartments off of Northeast 183rd in an area packed with people. Police say there were several reports on social media yesterday about a bear seen wandering around various parts of Gresham. Then this morning, it was spotted again and tracked down to Northeast 183rd. To ensure public safety, police say they had to shoot and kill the animal. We spoke with neighbors who were surprised that a bear made it that far into the city.
It's uncommon. Yeah. I mean, you see more coyotes and mountain lions and all that, but bears, no.
Man, it's dangerous. I hope they don't come around anymore, but you never can tell. Mother Nature have their way. Animals, you know how they are.
The bear's body has been turned over to Oregon State Police. It's unclear where it came from and where it was living before it came to city streets.
Straight ahead, the NYPD makes a major arrest and thanks brave survivors for coming forward. Several months since women began calling out the movie mogul, Harvey Weinstein faces charges, including rape.
Still to come, we'll check in with Mark Nelson. He's down at City Fair on this opening day. This is a live look down there. He's going to tell us what kind of weather we can expect for the holiday weekend.
And remember, you can now add Fox 12 to your Amazon Alexa Flash Briefing. Just log into your Flash Briefing settings, search Fox 12, then enable your Fox 12 Flash Briefing, and you can stay connected anytime. Complete details are at kptv.com/Alexa.
You're watching the 5 o'clock news. First, live, local.
It's emotional, but there is a lot of relief, and I think that so many women that I've met now who have suffered at the hands of Harvey Weinstein are just collectively taking a huge sigh. I think we're in shock. I don't know if any of us ever thought we would see the day.
Now, Harvey Weinstein is now facing rape charges. The disgraced movie executive turned himself in to New York police this morning. And this all comes after the New Yorker and the New York Times published multiple accusations against him from women that he has worked with.
And for Fox 12 now, Reed Binion tells us more about this case.
Harvey!
Sexual misconduct allegations have caught up to disgraced Hollywood producer Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein turned himself into the New York Police Department's 1st Precinct Friday morning and was charged with 1st and 3rd degree rape and committing a criminal sex act. In a statement, the NYPD said today's charges were for incidents involving 2 women, and it thanked the brave survivors for their courage to come forward and seek justice. Weinstein later appeared in New York County Supreme Court for a bond hearing where prosecutors alleged
this defendant used his position, money, and power to lure young women into situations where he was able to violate them sexually.
Weinstein's attorney responded, saying that any allegations of non-consensual sex were unequivocally denied.
Mr. Weinstein will enter a plea of not guilty. We intend to move very quickly to dismiss these charges. Mr. Weinstein has always maintained that any sexual activity he engaged in was consensual.
One of the first women to publicly accuse Weinstein of assault, actress Rose McGowan, released a statement on Instagram Thursday saying in part, "I and so many of Harvey Weinstein's survivors had given up hope that our rapist would be held accountable by law. 20 years ago, I swore that I would right this wrong. Today, we are one step closer to justice." I'm Reed Binion reporting.
And Weinstein is also under investigation for sex crimes in Los Angeles and London.
Fiat Chrysler is recalling 4.8 million cars that could get stuck in cruise control. Only one incident related to the malfunction has been reported, and there are no reported injuries. The issue can be triggered when a driver taps on the gas pedal while cruise control is activated. The company says owners of the recalled models can bring them into dealerships for a no-cost software update. 15 models are included in the recall. We have a full list of them on our website, kptv.com.
Memorial Day is this Monday, and if you're looking for an easier way to get to the gorge this holiday weekend, ODOT may have the answer. Today marks the 3rd season of the Columbia Gorge Express bus service. This year, it's going further east and operating every day of the week. This is also the first year the service will run to Cascade Locks and Hood River. It also takes people to Rooster Rock State Park and Multnomah Falls, which, by the way, is where the first bus that took off from the Gateway Transit Center this morning was headed. ODOT says the service has been growing in popularity.
People are really positive and excited about the service, and so it's just grown year by year. More people have been riding, more people have been talking about it.
Makes it really easy because, you know, you just got to hop on the bus and just go.
Starting June 11th, the bus will start offering rides 7 days a week, year-round.
Well, Memorial Day, guess what? The weekend is here. It's that time of year once again. City Fair kicking off at Portland's waterfront today. This was the view from Air 12 this morning when they were making the final preparations setting up.
And now what looks different is, if Air 12 was up over it, is that it's packed with people, including Fox 12 Chief Meteorologist Mark Nelson, who's at City Fair live with us. And Mark, you know, I'm guessing it's a great weather day out there too.
Yeah, it's nice and cool. Cool. It's comfortably warm, I guess I should say. Totally cloudy, so nobody wants to be here when it's sweaty and hot. Wonderful day, just like it should be at the end of May or early June. Now, you probably noticed the smoke drifting by me. I've got Alan here. How you doing?
Hey, good guys. How y'all doing today?
Bates Steakhouse. How long have you guys been coming to the Rose Festival?
This is our 9th or 10th year. I've been coming here since, gosh, when it was raining a lot. These last few years have been really great.
Surprise?
Oh, man. Good time to get out here and get some sunshine, get some barbecue, some beers.
What kind of meat you got there?
So here I got our tri-tip today. We cook a lot of those, probably about 300 pounds a day. We also got our pork shoulders here in the back. We probably cook about 200 pounds of those a day. We just burn them and turn them all day long.
You heard that, guys? Burn them and turn them. Hey, certain kind of wood you use or no?
Yeah, we're using all mesquite and locally sourced oak as well.
So my alder wouldn't cut it?
Alder would be pretty nice, but I can't get my hands on that. I might have you come by later.
Okay, good idea. All right, keep cooking. So, oh, by the way, weather-wise, this better than 80, 90 degrees?
Oh, this is perfect, man. Under 75 degrees, a little bit of clouds, cool and dry. We like it.
Okay, thanks, Alan.
All right, guys.
He's just getting started, of course. It just opened at 5 p.m. down here at City Fair. Going to be open for, gosh, about 3 weeks. So this goes on for quite a while. Let's talk about, of course, you know, beginning of the Rose Festival, but it's Memorial Day weekend. A lot of people skipping out of town. I noticed traffic was kind of light, actually, when I came in. So, coast, let's take a look at the beach forecast, and you can see, you know what? I haven't changed these forecasts since yesterday. So tomorrow at the beach, clouds to late sun. I think you'll see the sunset tomorrow evening at the coast. It'll be really nice. And then Sunday and Monday, the classic coastal mix of clouds and then clouds to sunshine. And of course, as always, water temp 55 degrees. Now up in the Cascades, the way it looks right now in the Cascades, tomorrow we have a thick marine layer. Clouds jammed all the way up to about 6,000 feet, and that means a chilly day, spots of drizzle for camping. Or, you know, the Mount Hood Adventure Park is open at Ski Bowl. Tomorrow's their opening day. But hang on, don't freak out tomorrow. Just stay close to the campfire because Sunday and Monday looks like all sunshine coming up there. All right, let's talk about big thunderstorms because we have several areas of concern weather-wise. Oh, first, rainfall the next few days. Actually, for the next week, pretty much all of it appears to be in eastern Oregon with those thunderstorms. Now, let's go check out the radar. And you can see a lot of action east side, not much of anything west side. It looks like it wants to rain here, but it's all over there. Wow, that is a lot of activity there. Baker City, actually Baker County, from about Baker City south, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for that area. It could be damaging hail. Also, flash flood warning east of Long Creek, just to the south of Granite. And John Day, you are just getting nailed by storms right now. A lot of action over there. And the SPC has said, hey, there's a marginal risk for severe thunderstorms. Could include any of those coming up tonight. All right, let's jump ahead. I think we have the forecast next. Yeah, for the coastline for tomorrow. We kind of covered tomorrow, I suppose. Just morning clouds and drizzle, but there should be some sun by afternoon. Now, here in the valleys, the sun is going to be really slow to break out tomorrow. I think it'll be totally cloudy through about 3 p.m. In the gorge, boys, big marine layer on the west side. That means a huge wind in the gorge. It'll be sunny at the east end. Hood River and the Dalles should be great. But clouds socked in with drizzle at Multnomah Falls. Cascades, tomorrow, like I said, cloudy, cool, drizzle or shower. And then east of the Cascades for tomorrow, I think tomorrow is going to be a much quieter weather day. Just a few leftover showers through about midday. Then it should dry out. Cooler, though. Temperatures in the 60s. And then our 7-day forecast, well, we don't have any significant rain. We could use a soaking really badly, but I don't see that. Boy, Sunday and Monday look beautiful. A little cooling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And, in fact, the second half of next week looks kind of chilly, unlike these tri-tip that are not chilly. How long do you have to cook those for, by the way?
I do about 2.5 to 3.5 hours on the tri-tip, and the pork we do overnight, so this stuff I put on right now is going to be for tomorrow morning.
Okay, looks good. Thanks.
All right, guys.
There you go. I'm all smoked out now.
All right, you keep burning and turning and giving us those forecasts, Mark.
That's the phrase for the weekend. Burn them and turn them. Making me hungry. All right.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, we do.
We got a lot more to come.
We do. Straight ahead here, an annual tradition, Pete, the special way one school is honoring those who gave their life for our freedom.
In honor of Memorial Day, a local school took the time to remember those killed in the line of duty. Students at McMinnville Christian Academy placed more than 5,000 flags in front of the school. Each flag symbolizes Oregonians who've died in military service since World War I. The teacher who spearheaded this project talked about the importance of teaching children about military sacrifice.
Oh, it's pretty amazing. They get it. They are. Sorry. They understand what this is about. You know, I really stress teaching about what our military is and the sacrifices, not only that they have made, but the sacrifices of the families that have lost their children in war, or their brothers or dads or moms or sisters. And so they were so excited about this because they really get it.
She says they hope that they'll continue this tradition in the years to come.
Still ahead, Timbers in 30. That's coming up at 6:30 with a win streak sitting at 5. We take a look at what's going right as the Timbers prepare for a mile-high matchup in Colorado.
And straight ahead, more live team coverage of that hit-and-run crash at Portland State University. The big question investigators have tonight after 3 women were mowed down by an SUV.